Now I know that the title of this video is a very bold statement, but I truly believe that this Casio watch is the best watch in the world for $30. In this video, I'll give you a quick review, what its competition is, and why I believe that this is the best super affordable watch in the world. Let's get started. So I made a video not too long ago actually claiming that the Casio AE-1300 was the best budget Casio. You know, the Casio World Time, aka the Casio Royale. Well, that is indeed a ridiculously good watch. However, I think it has one huge flaw that the Casio I'm showing you today doesn't have. The Casio Royale is fantastic, absolutely jam-packed with features, incredibly comfortable and super affordable, not to mention the swimmable water resistance and the 10-year battery life. It is hands down one of the best watches ever made. But for me, for all its greatness, I just think that it's a bit nerdy. Listen, I understand that us watch enthusiasts aren't exactly the coolest people on the planet. I mean, we've all been guilty of wearing two watches at the same time at one point or another, but I at least try to be a little cool from time to time. I feel like the Casio Royale is just super geeky. I almost feel as if I should button up my shirt to the top, strap on a bow tie and wear my reading glasses all day. It certainly doesn't give you the same sort of confidence that a G-Shock does, for example. So for all its greatness, I just feel that the Royale is too much of an acquired taste. So let me introduce you to what I believe is the ultimate replacement. The watch in question today is the Casio AE-1300WH. And for me, this is a Casio watch that does absolutely everything. And it costs less than a visit to the pub on a Saturday night. Let's start off with the wearing dimensions. The AE-1300 comes in with a 42mm case diameter, a 45mm lug-to-lug, and a 12.5mm thickness. These are the sort of wearing dimensions that are just perfect. A nice wide case so we actually get some wrist presence, but a nice compact lug-to-lug meaning that even small wrists can pull it off too, including myself. The 12.5mm thickness is good too. Not as thick as a G-Shock, but not as thin as an F91W, for example, meaning that you can actually tell that you're wearing a watch, but not to the point it's getting in the way when cooking your eggs in the morning like some larger G-Shocks can do. I consider these wearing dimensions the sweet spot. They work on pretty much any size wrist, whether you have childlike wrists like me or come from a family of grizzly bears. As usual with these affordable Casios, we get an all-resin construction. Even the buckle and tang is made of plastic too. The crystal covering the digital display is acrylic. This will scratch up very easily, but Polywatch is your best friend here. A few wipes and it will be good to go. The only piece of steel that can be found on the watch is the caseback. This is engraved with a few specs, but it is mainly there to aid the impressive 100 meters of water resistance. Like the Casio Royale, the AE-1300 can be taken in the pool, join you in the shower, and even capable of some snorkeling, or in my case, floating around the sea sipping on a large bottle of beer. Now the module inside the AE-1300 is very similar in functionality to the Royale, except we have a different layout and the main feature is no longer the world time and instead the countdown timer feature. That's because instead of the world map featured on the dial, we have 3 subdials at the top of the display. These subdials are constantly operating, visually displaying elapsed time of each second and minute. These will be just ticking along all day. Now I know what you're thinking, but the world time is such a useful feature. It's the main selling point and what makes the Royale so good. Well, the AE-1300 actually has a world time too. Yes, it doesn't display the time zone on a map, but you can still find every single time zone that is on the Royale in the menu system too. So if you're like me, you can still check the time zone where the golf tournament is taking place so you don't miss a single stroke. Also, you still get all of those amazing features that you'd expect from this style of Casio. You still get an alarm function, stopwatch, LED backlight display, automatic calendar until the year 2099, but the amount of timing that is possible with this watch is just ridiculous. I can't even name everything it can do in the video, otherwise everyone would fall asleep. Instead, just look at this list of possibilities with the timing section. Now this is where this Casio is perfect. This separates this model from the Royale in one particular way. The AE-1300 is very much a sports watch. It's made for referees, runners, interval training, and just general physical activities, making this watch not only functional but also visually a lot more sporty, meaning I can leave the bow tie in the dresser and strap on my favourite shorts and sneakers and not feel like a lunatic. In my opinion, this Casio is infinitely cooler and a lot less of an acquired taste than the Royale. No one's going to think you watch a James Bond box set on repeat in your downtime when seeing it on your wrist. Instead, you'll look like you live an active lifestyle, going on hikes, cycling through forests and doing lunges in your spare time, even though I'll be mainly using it to time how long my pizza has been in the oven. You still get all of the functionality of the Royale, but you don't have to look like you read mathematics textbooks just for fun. Now, if the black and yellow colour scheme isn't to your taste, fear not. Casio have you covered. Just like the Royale, we actually have plenty of other colour combinations and styles to suit your taste. If for whatever reason you actually want it to look more like the Casio Royale, then you can pick up the silver and black variant, which, like the Royale, has an undercover spy aesthetic going on with it. If you want something that's a bit more fun and playful, then Casio offers a blue and red version of the watch too, although I think that the black and yellow model has the sportiest, coolest look of the lot. Another massive selling point of the AE-1300 is the fact that you can actually swap out the straps and switch up the style. I recently popped it on a mustard ribbed NATO strap and it just looked amazing. The colour of the strap matches the yellow of the subdials flawlessly. This leans into the sporty aesthetic and not only gives the watch more security on wrist, but this is super comfortable to wear too. These ribbed mustard straps look amazing on almost any watch, so I don't think that the AE-1300 is special in this regard, but the fact that the colours match so well is so nice to see. If you prefer something a bit more serious, here's the watch on a vintage full grain leather. This makes the watch look more versatile. It could be used as an everyday option in this setup. I certainly don't think that this is a super stylish option. I wouldn't wear this with a shirt when going out for dinner, but if you like your leather straps, fear not, the AE-1300 does work with them. And if you don't like the Casio supplied resin straps, which I admit sometimes can be a little uncomfortable, they work just fine on $10 rubber options from Amazon. This is the ultimate comfort option for me. You completely forget you've even got a watch on. You get all of the upside that comes with wearing a rubber strap in terms of the water resistance and never having to worry about damaging the thing. It is worth mentioning that sometimes the watch can look a bit top heavy on certain straps. Because of the 42mm case only having an 8mm lug width, with no real tapering or shape to the case towards the strap, it can sometimes look a bit odd. You can actually pick up leather straps specifically made for this watch. Funnily enough, you'll actually have to search for Casio Royale leather straps to find them, but they do look a lot more seamless and suit the watch better. They just cost a bit more money as they're specially made for the watch. So is the AE-1300 actually the best $30 Casio? Well, models like the Royale, F91W and many other digital models get tons of hype and praise online. However, I never really see this model get much love or attention. I believe that the AE-1300 is the perfect combination of functionality and style. The sporty look, great specs and wearing experience for me make it the best affordable Casio that money can buy. Finally, pricing. This watch can easily be picked up for less than $30, which is quite breathtaking considering everything that you get. Even places like Amazon that usually have inflated prices don't sell this watch for much. Therefore, I'll leave a couple of affiliate links to buy the watch on Amazon in the description. Check them out if you're interested in picking one up. If you liked this video and want some more Casio goodness, be sure to watch my video here on screen on the 5 best Casio watches under $50.